Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. The world is loud. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody is watching. Everybody is talking. But the people who win? They move in silence. You don't need to announce your goals. You don't need to explain your vision. You don't need validation from people who have never built anything. Because when you focus on yourself, everything changes. Most people waste years reacting. Reacting to criticism. Reacting to gossip. Reacting to distractions. Winners? They respond with action. When you focus on yourself, you take your power back. You stop arguing. You stop proving. You stop comparing. And you start building. Understand this. Energy flows where focus goes. If you focus on drama, you grow drama. If you focus on excuses, you grow weakness. But if you focus on growth, discipline, standards, progress, you grow unstoppable strength. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. When you stay silent, you sharpen your skills. You build your body. You grow your mind. You increase your value. Let them talk while you train. Let them doubt while you develop. Let them laugh while you level up. Because one day, your results will speak so loudly that explanations will become unnecessary. The strongest move you can make this year is simple. Wake up. Work on yourself. Improve 1% every single day. Say less. Do more. Stop announcing the plan. Become the plan. You don't need applause. You need progress. You don't need attention. You need discipline. And when your focus becomes obsession, when your standards become non-negotiable, when your growth becomes your daily ritual, success stops being a dream. It becomes inevitable. So from this moment forward, focus on yourself. Stay silent. Build relentlessly. And let your transformation make the noise that we live in a world that never stops talking. Every moment, someone is offering advice, judgment, or criticism. Notifications pull you in every direction. Social media shows you what others are doing, what they think, and what they expect of you. If you're not careful, all of this noise will overwhelm you, and it will stop you from taking control of your life. Noise is dangerous because it distracts you from what truly matters. It clouds your judgment, undermines your decisions, and steals the energy you could use to build your own dreams. The loudest voices are rarely the most successful. They don't create results, they create confusion. Here's the truth, clarity is power. And clarity can only exist in silence. You must deliberately separate yourself from the distractions of the world. You must protect your attention as if it were your most valuable possession because it is. When you allow your mind to be hijacked by opinions, gossip, and endless noise, you give away your focus, your energy, and your future. Most people wake up reacting to the world, letting external circumstances control their emotional state. They scroll before they think, respond before they reflect, and live according to the expectations of others. That is not strength, that is surrender. Strength begins with control. Control begins with focus. You must decide, will you let the noise guide your life, or will you create a quiet space where your goals, your vision, and your dreams have room to grow? The more you disconnect from distractions, the more connected you become to your purpose. Noise weakens you. Silence strengthens you. And remember, when you master the art of quiet focus, you gain a power most people will never understand. They will continue to shout, compare, and criticize. Meanwhile, you will be building your life, undisturbed, unstoppable, and ready to dominate. There is a hidden power in moving quietly. In a world obsessed with announcements, status updates, and social media proof, the ones who achieve extraordinary results often do it without broadcasting every step. They don't feel the need to tell everyone what they are planning, who they are meeting, or what they are building. They understand a simple truth: results speak louder than words ever could. When you constantly talk about what you will do, you waste energy. Energy that should be directed into action, focus, and growth. Every word you spend defending your vision is energy taken away from building it. Every status update about your goals releases the emotional intensity needed to make them a reality. Silence, in this sense, is not hiding, it is strategy. It is the deliberate choice to preserve your energy, sharpen your focus, and protect your momentum. Moving in silence allows you to learn, fail, adjust, and improve without the pressure of an audience. It frees you from judgment, doubt, and distraction. It gives you the freedom to experiment, take risks, and refine your craft. When you move quietly, you can grow without interruption. You can build without comparison. You can master your craft without excuses. The loudest achievers are often quiet. They do not seek attention. They do not crave validation. They simply show up every day, invest in themselves, and execute relentlessly. The world only notices their success once it becomes undeniable. If you want to create massive results, stop announcing your intentions. Stop waiting for approval. Stop seeking applause. Focus on building in private. Let your skills, results, and transformation create the noise. That is the power of moving in silence. The world will see your progress, but only after you've done the work that others were too distracted to do. Silence is not passivity. Silence is preparation. And preparation is the weapon that separates the dreamers from the doers. One of the most destructive habits you can have is depending on others to tell you that you are enough. When you live your life seeking validation, your power is no longer yours. It belongs to the people who have no stake in your future. Every like, every compliment, every bit of approval may feel good temporarily, but it creates a fragile confidence that collapses the moment someone doubts you or criticizes you. True strength comes from building your self-worth internally. Confidence that is based on your effort, your discipline, and your commitment is unshakable. It doesn't fluctuate based on applause or criticism. It doesn't need external approval because it knows its own value. The moment you stop looking for validation, you reclaim your freedom, your focus, and your energy. When you seek approval, you spend your life trying to please others instead of pursuing your own vision. You justify your choices, explain your actions, and shrink yourself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. That is weakness disguised as politeness. That is energy wasted on irrelevant judgments. Stop asking if they approve. Stop wondering if you are good enough for their recognition. Instead, ask, did I give my best today? Did I show up fully? Did I honor my commitments? Those are the only metrics that matter. Those are the only scores that count. The people who achieve extraordinary success do not live to be liked. They live to become strong. They live to grow. They live to achieve what others cannot. They understand that the world may misunderstand, criticize, or even hate them, but their focus remains on building their own life, not winning approval from those too distracted to act themselves. When you stop seeking validation, you liberate yourself. You amplify your power. You focus entirely on your growth. And you step into a life that is defined by results, not by the fleeting opinions of others. The world may talk, but your life will speak volumes. Life is going to challenge you. People will doubt you. Situations will frustrate you. Opportunities will slip past, and setbacks will test your limits. But here's the truth. It's not what happens to you that defines your success. It's how you respond. Most people respond emotionally. They lash out in anger. They argue to defend themselves. They waste precious energy reacting to every criticism, every setback, every obstacle. And in doing so, they lose momentum, focus, and control. Emotion without direction is chaos. Action without clarity is wasted effort. But action fueled by strategic focus, that is unstoppable power. When you face criticism, respond by improving yourself. When someone doubts you, respond by developing the skills they underestimate. When life pushes back, respond with discipline, determination, and consistent effort. That is how you turn challenges into advantages. The world rewards those who do, not those who complain. Complaining is easy. Reacting emotionally is instinctive. But acting strategically requires mastery, patience, and control. Every setback becomes a lesson, every criticism becomes a mirror, and every obstacle becomes a stepping stone when you respond with action instead of emotion. Take a moment to realize this. The energy you spend reacting emotionally is energy stolen from growth, momentum, and results. Action channels frustration into progress, pain into skill, and disappointment into results. It transforms chaos into leverage. If you want extraordinary success, stop reacting. Start acting. Respond with precision, intention, and purpose. Focus on building, improving, and executing relentlessly. Let your results silence doubt and prove your capability. The strongest people don't waste energy defending themselves, they use it to create unstoppable momentum. Every time you choose action over drama, you move closer to the life you deserve. Respond with purpose. Respond with strength. Respond with action. And watch as your life begins to reflect the power of disciplined choice over fleeting emotion. Everything in your life grows where your attention flows. Your mind is like a powerful magnet. It finds, amplifies, and multiplies what you focus on. If your attention is on fear, scarcity, or failure, guess what you attract? More fear, scarcity, and failure. If your focus is on excuses, distractions, or what others think, your energy becomes wasted and your results shrink. This is not abstract philosophy. It is simple truth. Energy and focus are the fuel of achievement. Where you direct them, life responds. That is why so many people feel stuck. They are pouring attention into the wrong things. They complain, they compare, they dwell on setbacks, and they wonder why nothing changes. Nothing changes because their energy is going to the wrong place. If you want to grow, your attention must be deliberate, disciplined, and intentional. Focus on solutions, not problems. Focus on growth, not fear. Focus on action, not distraction. Even small moments of intentional focus compound over time into unstoppable momentum. What you feed your mind today becomes your reality tomorrow. Look around. Those who achieve extraordinary results don't get lucky, they focus relentlessly. They direct their energy toward what matters. They ignore what doesn't. Every hour, every thought, every effort is directed at improving, building, and moving closer to their goals. Stop letting your attention drift. Stop allowing your mind to be hijacked by triviality, gossip, or doubt. Decide where your energy flows. Train yourself to notice what you feed your focus, and cut out what steals it. Energy follows focus. What you nurture grows. Direct it toward mastery, self-discipline, and growth, and watch your life transform. The more precise your focus, the more unstoppable your momentum becomes. Your results will reflect not what happens to you, but what you consistently choose to give your attention and energy to. Focus is the currency of achievement. Spend it wisely. Silence is one of the most misunderstood tools of power. Many think staying quiet is weakness, avoidance, or passivity. They believe you must constantly speak, justify yourself, or broadcast your intentions to prove you are serious. That is exactly what the world wants you to do, because noise is easier than results, and talking feels productive even when it's not. But true strategy is built in silence. When you stay silent, you gain clarity. You observe situations without bias, study people without interference, and see opportunities that others miss while they argue, complain, or seek attention. Silence allows you to plan your moves, sharpen your skills, and execute with precision. It gives you the space to fail, learn, and adjust without judgment or pressure. Every great achievement begins with preparation, and preparation thrives in quiet. Silence also protects your energy. Every argument you engage in, every opinion you defend, every explanation you give takes away mental and emotional resources that could be used to build your life. The more you speak without strategy, the more you scatter your power. When you hold your words, you conserve strength. You choose when to act and when to reveal your intentions. You control the tempo of your life, rather than letting the world dictate it. Powerful people don't need to announce their victories. They let results do the talking. They move decisively, learn constantly, and stay unseen until they are ready to strike with undeniable impact. Silence is not weakness. Silence is observation, calculation, and preparation. It is a shield that guards your energy and a sword that multiplies your impact. Those who master silence understand the world better, act smarter, and achieve faster than those who are constantly shouting. If you want to win in life, embrace silence. Make it your strategy. Let the world talk, while you quietly prepare to dominate. Comparison is one of the most subtle and destructive traps you can fall into. It steals confidence, distorts perspective, and diverts energy from what really matters, your own growth. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you measure your progress against someone else's achievements, timelines, or circumstances. And the result? Frustration, doubt, and a feeling that you're never enough. Here's the truth: everyone's journey is unique. No two paths are the same. People face different obstacles, opportunities, and challenges. Comparing your beginning to someone else's middle is unfair, and it's a recipe for unnecessary stress. The more you look outward for validation, the further you stray from your true potential. The strongest, most successful people don't waste time comparing themselves. They focus inward. They measure themselves against who they were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Growth is personal, incremental, and deliberate. Improvement, not imitation, is the path to lasting success. Every small step forward compounds. Every habit you strengthen adds to your momentum. Your only competition is the version of you from yesterday. Comparison breeds fear and hesitation, while focus breeds progress and confidence. When you eliminate comparison, you reclaim energy, mental clarity, and self-belief. You create space to innovate, to take risks, and to fully commit to your vision without distraction or doubt. Imagine how far you could go if you never paused to measure yourself against someone else. Imagine the growth if all your energy went into building your skills, your mind, and your life instead of worrying about the progress of others. Eliminate comparison. Respect others' journeys, but don't let them define yours. Run your own race. Build your own legacy. Measure progress against your own standards, not the milestones of those around you. Master this, and you will unlock a power most people will never understand. Massive success is rarely the result of one giant leap. It is the result of consistent, daily improvements, small actions that compound over time into extraordinary results. Improving by just 1% each day may feel insignificant in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, it becomes unstoppable momentum. This is the power of incremental growth, the secret most people ignore because it doesn't give instant gratification. Too many people chase quick wins. They want results today, applause today, recognition today. And when it doesn't happen, they quit. But the truth is, real greatness is built quietly, consistently, with patience and discipline. Each day you read a little more, practice a little harder, or push a little further, you are stacking bricks in the foundation of your future. Each small improvement compounds, creating skills, confidence, and resilience that cannot be taken away. Improving 1% every day is not about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about showing up even when motivation is low, when circumstances are tough, or when distractions tempt you to quit. It's about making the choice to grow when the easier path is comfort. Small victories matter because they accumulate into unstoppable power. Over time, these tiny improvements transform who you are. Your habits, mindset, and abilities evolve, and suddenly, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Progress becomes visible. Confidence grows. Discipline strengthens. And success becomes a natural byproduct of your daily investment in yourself. Stop waiting for massive breakthroughs. Stop looking for overnight success. Focus on the small steps you can take today. Improve just 1%. And do it again tomorrow. Over time, those small steps will multiply into a life that far exceeds what you once thought possible. The key is consistency, patience, and relentless focus on daily growth. Master this, and you become unstoppable. Talking about your goals feels good, but achieving them feels powerful. Most people waste energy explaining, defending, and justifying their plans. They constantly feel the need to tell the world what they intend to do, who they are becoming, or how hard they are working. But talking doesn't build results, action does. And real power comes when your results speak for you. When you let results speak, you remove the need for validation. You eliminate the pressure to convince anyone of your worth. Instead of arguing, you show. Instead of explaining, you execute. This is how the truly successful operate. They don't waste energy on spectators. They focus on building skills, mastering processes, and producing outcomes that cannot be ignored. Every achievement you create in silence becomes undeniable proof of your effort, discipline, and commitment. You don't need to announce progress or seek recognition. When your results become visible, they create authority, respect, and credibility automatically. People notice not because you told them, but because the evidence is impossible to ignore. The world is full of talkers. Few are doers. The talkers may appear busy, but the doers are unstoppable. And the difference between the two is simple: results. Every time you choose action over words, execution over explanation, and growth over applause, you multiply your momentum. Let your life be the loudest statement of who you are and what you are capable of. Build silently. Improve daily. Execute relentlessly. And let every accomplishment shout louder than any argument ever could. Your results will break doubt, silence criticism, and inspire others, not because of what you say, but because of what you consistently create. Stop proving. Start building. Stop explaining. Start achieving. Results are the ultimate language of power, and when you master this principle, you become unstoppable. Attention is fleeting. Motivation comes and goes. Inspiration strikes occasionally. If you rely on these temporary states to achieve success, you will constantly be at the mercy of your feelings, circumstances, and distractions. That is why discipline is far more powerful than attention. Discipline is permanent. Discipline is unshakable. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Discipline is doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when comfort wants you to stay in bed. It's training hard when laziness whispers for rest. It's sitting down to study, plan, or work when the world tells you it's too hard. Discipline is choosing long-term results over short-term comfort every single day, without exception. Most people confuse activity with progress. They chase excitement, applause, or instant gratification, thinking they are moving forward. But without discipline, that energy dissipates. Without structure, effort is wasted. Discipline is what turns inconsistent effort into unstoppable momentum. It is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the engine that drives transformation. When discipline becomes your foundation, attention becomes a tool rather than a master. You no longer need motivation to show up. You no longer wait for inspiration to act. You simply act, consistently, relentlessly, and with purpose. Over time, these daily, disciplined actions compound into massive results, reshaping your life in ways that sporadic bursts of energy never could. The disciplined person does not seek applause. They do not depend on recognition. They rely on their own standards, their own routine, and their own commitment. That is how greatness is built. That is how results become inevitable. That is how a life of success, strength, and purpose is created. Discipline over attention is not easy, but nothing extraordinary ever is. Master this, and you stop chasing fleeting feelings and start building lasting power. When discipline leads, success follows automatically.